welcome back to another episode of the ABS show. You're watching MinaTV. If this is your first time watching us, go ahead and subscribe on our page. Also go on our Instagram page, the ABS show, and follow that as well. And if we're in the middle of our conversation, if you have something to say, don't forget to always chime in the comments as well, all right? Listen, y'all, Yazzie is out for today, but we have a special guest with us. Everybody welcome Miss Bridget. Yes, she is not my twin, even though we have the same, hairstyle going on today.
We do.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here.
We are so excited that you are here. So tell us about yourself. Where you from? What do you do? And how did you end up here?
Okay. Well, as you already know, my name is Bridget. I was born and raised in the Bronx, but I have Ghanaian roots.
Yes.
So I just moved back from Ghana after graduating from college. I went there and I did radio and I did a little bit of television just to get some, starter experience. So, yeah, I just moved back and I'm just trying to get my footing back in New York.
Your foot is back.
Yes.
Because you're on the ABS show.
Yeah.
The ABS show. We are so excited to have you, honestly. Are you a model? Because you strike me as a...
Wow.
You do a little bit of modeling?
You. I mean, a little bit.
A little bit.
You know?
Okay, so one thing about Yazzie is, listen, even though she's right or wrong, she always brings it. So I hope, you are ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Are y'all ready?
No, she didn't. All right, so we're going to go in first topic, Timani. What do you have for us?
Well, the first topic is a sad one. That's why I'm wearing black.
Oh.
South Africa has lost a queen.
Yes.
Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela died on the 2nd of April, and until her passing, she was 81. And they said she died of a long-term illness that has been going on for the rest of the year. So I just want to say just a little bit introduction for those who don't know who Winnie Mandela is. Winnie Mandela was a human rights activist. Yeah. She was very strong politically in South Africa, and her full name was Nomzamo Winifred Zaniwe Madikizela. She was born on September 26, 1936 in Bizana. She met Nelson Mandela, the great Nelson Mandela, in 1957, and they were married for a long time. All the while Mandela was in prison for 27 years, she was married to Mandela until he came out. And a lot was linked to her personality, why she was an activist. She was a very strong member of the ANC, which is the #1 political party in South Africa. She fought for the rights of women. She broke a lot of records. She broke protocols, even when there was a lot of racist situations in South Africa. So people call her the queen. And some people were happy, some people were sad about her death, although there were some controversies about her whole lifestyle. I just felt we should talk about her. So what do you guys think?
I think she's amazing. This is the mother of the nation.
Exactly.
People used to call her that, right? The mother of the nation. And every time I hear this quote, behind every man, every successful man,
right.
I think about her. She's been through so much. She stood behind her man. I think this is like a sad day for South Africa and for the whole world, actually, because she is such a pioneer.
An icon. And
Yes,
Timani, I really want to, I'm so touched about the way you introduced her. A lot of people, the headline was Nelson Mandela's wife. Nelson, I love that you started on her own accolades, because Winnie Mandela was somewhat a force to be reckoned with in her own right. And in fact, many of the times that they were, doing the apartheid struggle, Nelson and Winnie didn't always agree, because she had a more forceful attitude. She was more with the force. She really wasn't against the violence at all, especially because a lot of the violence was impacted on the black community in South Africa at that time. And she thought it was best. Mostly the women and children. And she thought it was best to retaliate. I know a lot about, they accused her of murdering a child, but she
had a lot of controversies.
But there were documentaries that, especially throughout the week, there were a lot of documentaries that came out that, that to dispute that, because they really wanted to put a damper on her name, which I felt was so disrespectful and everything. I was very fortunate to have met her in Lagos. Yeah.
You did?
How was that?
Wow.
In Lagos back in 2015, I worked for this lady who invited her over. We had a luncheon in Lagos. It was really cool. I hope I could find the pictures.
You better find that picture.
I hope I could find the pictures, but that was really interesting. So I was very, very sad, and I felt very honored that at least I got to listen to her. And one of the things she spoke about that day was how we are the ones in charge of our future. Like we think that we're so small and insignificant and we're little or we're female or whatever, but the truth is that the future is now and it starts with what we have in us.
Sure.
So I think it's kind of like an extra push. It was like an extra reminder that we need to do more, especially for our countries back in Africa.
You know, actually,
awesome.
I completely agree. I actually think that Winnie is the perfect example of a great leader, but also human, because you see that she was angry. You know what I mean? She was in a marriage that lasted almost 4 decades, and there was some infidelity tacked to her. But I mean, he was in prison for so long, and I can't imagine how lonely she felt. And as she's fighting this whole thing by herself, and how she might have grown connected to someone else, she shows that. Listen, like you can be powerful and strong and lead a group of people, but you also have to be true and real to yourself. Exactly.
Definitely. And she's actually one of the few women I know that will stand by a man that will go to prison for so long. Like
27 years.
She's amazing, and we just want to say rest in peace. And South Africa, you guys need to stay strong, and the
Keep the
ABS show.
fight up.
Yes. All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic. Shake it off, guys. I know with Nelson Mandela. So I'm gonna bring you a more funny topic. I don't know if you guys saw this, but one of the billionaires in Nigeria, Femi
Otedola.
Otedola.
Otedola with the money. Team money with the dough.
So Otedola decided to take the bus. And so there's a picture. He took the bus to go visit his old school teacher, and he took a picture of it. There's also a little video of it on Instagram, and fans are attacking him.
Where was this?
So this was in London.
Oh,
this was in UK. And basically what they are saying is he wouldn't take a bus in Nigeria.
Of course.
So why would he decide to take a bus in London, and not only that, videotape it and take a picture of it like it's such an accomplishment. So people are bashing him for that. What do you guys think about this story?
This is talking the most and saying the least.
Yes.
Why does this matter? You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. What his transportation is doesn't define his character. So what are you trying to gain out of this?
Yeah. Listen, the last time I checked, this man his net worth is over $500 million. Okay, and if he decided to take the bus, who cares? If this was if this was flipped to the other side, and I sit in a Maserati, I'm taking a picture as well.
Absolutely.
Hello. So I think the Nigerians are doing too much. Once again, they are focusing on the wrong things. Focus on the animals eating all your money and leave this man alone. Like he has paid his dues. He owns one of the biggest companies in Nigeria that produces oil and gas. He has paid his dues. Who cares? Leave him alone. All right.
Okay.
But let me say something concerning this. Okay, Otedola, we all know Otedola is very successful. And one thing about Nigerians is when you're successful and you're a celebrity or you're out there in public, you don't go to public places easily. So first of all, I don't blame him for not taking a bus in Nigeria because they will mob him. He will not see his cell phone again.
What is bus? I'm offended that you even called it bus. You danfo.
Danfo.
Wow.
Then apart from that, in a place like London, I think I understand where he's coming from because first of all, London, apart from the fact that, see the bus now, there's so much space he can breathe.
Yes.
Then secondly, in London, they use the right wheel drive. So if you live in Nigeria and you use a left wheel drive, just like America, for like a couple of months and you just go back to London, they don't expect you don't expect yourself to just program your brain and just use the right wheel drive easily.
What,
because
you mean for him to drive?
Yeah. Right.
He has a driver. He probably will have somebody to drive him.
But some rich people like driving themselves. Like me, I like driving. You know, like my Range Rover is outside. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like he check and say, I beg, make my whole network not reduce this holiday.
I agree.
And let me tell you something. This is the reason why rich people are still rich.
Yes.
Okay, because I mean, like even like check out his daughter, like Copy said that she has businesses. Her daddy is rich, but she's still doing business. This is the reason why rich people still remain rich, because they know how to handle their money. They know how to make make smart choices. And then I think you even forgot that this old man has an Instagram now. Okay, he's trying to get his page popping. If he wants to make a video, if he wants to take pictures, he has a reason now. Okay, because all these small, everybody else will travel to London and take a nice picture in the train, feeling cool because they're on vacation in London. Why can't this billionaire do the same? Everybody else makes videos when they're on vacation in London. You guys are just mad because you expect him to throw away all his money just because he said he's trying to make a trip. No.
But that's the problem with Nigeria. If you do this, they will talk. If you don't do, they will still talk. So what do you people want?
So in a way, don't you guys feel like maybe he was trying to mark the poor by riding the bus? Oh, look, I'm doing what poor people do. I'm riding the bus.
When we do, like you said, when we do rich things, then we take, oh my God, I'm doing what rich people do. I got in the Gucci store.
Listen, this is my kind of man. If I get married and he's rich, this is what I need you to be doing. Save our money, invest it, ride the bus, ride the train. There's no need for frivolous spending, especially if he's going to see his teacher.
He's going to see
Does he need to roll up in a Maserati to the school? No.
Yes, if you're going to see your teacher, especially those mean teachers, I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. Like, listen, look at me.
I disagree. I think he has the money that
exactly.
For him to be going to see his teacher, that means it's somebody he really cares about, somebody he really looks up to, and is like, let me go see this man and let me be on his level. I don't know, and just show some respect,
show some humility, go there and be like, teacher, thank you. No, don't have to.
But I also feel like his money speaks for itself. Like, you don't need to do too much, exactly. I mean, you're a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire. Like, honestly, what you're completely worth with all your businesses, you don't need to show off.
You're right.
Tell them to leave him alone again, please.
Tell them.
Can you guys leave him alone? Okay.
All right. All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic, Odera.
I got the next topic for you. So, there is this sex therapist in Nigeria, and she is suspected to be Nigeria's highest paid sex therapist. Oh, y'all sip that tea?
My kind of lady.
Her name is...
Your kind of lady?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Put sex on the table, sis. Yes.
Exactly. Her name is Hawa Mohammed, and she's from the northern part of Nigeria. She's
northern part of Nigeria?
Exactly. Which
the
is
most religious part of Nigeria.
Yes, she's a Hausa woman.
Which is why she really went viral, because Hausa women are mostly Muslim, and they're expected to be
everything.
Hijab. They're expected to be modest. They don't usually. And then of course in Africa, in Nigeria in general, like sex is not something everybody's out in the open talking about. But sis here started selling what she calls pussy upgrade.
Hey.
Pussy upgrade.
Wait, a what?
A pussy upgrade.
And what is a pussy upgrade?
You need to go to her page and find out. Like she has I spent a lot of time watching her videos. She has all sorts of fruits and honey that she's like, this one is gonna have him, pounding for days. This one is gonna make him come back for more. This one is gonna make him give you more money. She has all of it. And then part of what she does on her YouTube, aside showcase...
she has YouTube channel.
Yeah, aside showcase what she's selling, is show off the luxurious places that she stays at. So recently she was at Turkey's most expensive hotel that is 30,000 euros a night.
Nice.
And so because of this, everybody is suspecting that she might be the highest paid. So she was... I'm not sure how many nights she stayed in that hotel, but at least 30,000 euros. That's enough on its own. So it's a week or so. Who knows? But the Atlantis Dubai, I did watch that one. She said she was there 2 weeks, and it was about 25.2 million naira, like about $70,000. She stayed there 2 weeks. Yeah, the Atlantis Dubai underwater suite. She said it was the same suite Khloe Kardashian stayed in. And she stayed there for 2 weeks.
So what does the therapy involve?
The therapy involves liquids, oils, things to ingest, like different fruits. And, she said, she has the one for men. She has pussy upgrade, she has last longer, she has make him give you more money, and she's very principled. You know, she said that she's not giving it to single girls because she doesn't want to she doesn't want to disrupt anybody's home, because single girls will go and use it to snatch someone's husband.
She's snatching people's husbands. How does she make that money?
Did she tell you? No, she said that according to her, she said she makes about +1 million from just phone consultations. Now, what she's selling is not cheap because it's guaranteed. Like, I know people that have said it works. She's not joking. She tells you very honestly, these are not things to play with. And in fact, there are like some spiritual things aligned to it. She's like, don't be bad, if not, it's gonna backfire. Don't use it maliciously. All sorts of things. So she, by principle, she doesn't give single girls. She said that she got a lot of flack for that. So she said single girls that can prove they're in a serious relationship, fine. But she mostly gives married women, and then she doesn't give married women that have the same husband. Because if you're trying to like upgrade your pussy so he gives you more money, and then the second wife is doing the same thing, it clashes. Yeah.
Bridget, what do you feel about this?
Exactly.
Okay, first of all, she's my kind of lady, because I love radical women. I love women that are groundbreaking despite the society that they're surrounded by. You know, I mean, aside from religion and just being a West African in general, in West Africa, like, it's difficult to have these discussions, and you're opening those doors. And I mean, sex is important. To me, I believe that in a marriage, the sex is just as important as communication, financial stability, et cetera, et cetera. So she's allowing people to come together, communicate, something that West Africans typically have difficult doing.
Talking about, right.
Exactly. And get together and learn each other's bodies, connect spiritually, ultimately, because you're joining together, and she's making money off of it. Yeah. You cannot get better than that.
I think this is awesome as well. I just hope that she knows her shit and she knows exactly what she's talking about. Because I don't want her deceiving these people about sex and what comes with sex and all of that. With that being said, I like it. I love it. I think this is going to be dope. For her to be understanding that, listen, this is an expensive thing. I can see these politicians going there. I can see your pastor going there. I can see your father going there for some sex therapy. And I see nothing wrong with it. Because she's not actually selling sex. Like, she's not having sex with these people. She's selling the fantasy and educating you about your sex life. And I think this is dope.
Okay, but there's something I'm worried about. Sorry, I'm using my London accent. But there's something I'm worried about. You said most paid sex worker. So sex therapist. Okay, she's a businesswoman, right?
Yes.
And business people that we know that try to keep up with their standard don't spend money like that. So spending 30,000 euros for a night in a hotel, when you call the reception, is it going to link you to heaven? That's one. Then two. Somebody who makes money off of her own business without any sponsorship would not spend money like that.
Oh, I'm sure she's getting some sponsors.
Exactly.
I'm sure she's getting some sponsors under the table. I'm sure she's getting sponsors in them
Nigerian
hotel
lady
rooms.
for that matter.
I'm sure. Listen, all I'm saying is she's Nigerian, right?
I don't appreciate where this is going.
No. I'm just stating the fact. She's Nigerian, right? I think she needs to collaborate with Bobrisky. Because if you follow Bobrisky on Snapchat, he always teaches people how to give blowjobs, and also that's his own sex therapy. So I think it would be a dope collaboration. They could collaborate together and do something amazing in Nigeria. Just in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Just in Nigeria. You guys can keep that in Nigeria. I think this is dope. Bridget, what is going on in Ghana? What is going on? Let's move on to the next topic.
See, I feel bad because I feel like we're going from a high of a fun conversation to
a more serious.
A more serious
that's okay.
thing.
It's okay.
Okay. But I'm excited about this story because, again, I think it's like groundbreaking and radical in its message. So there's this young man, his name is Joseph A. Darko, better known as a Kunta Kinte. And yes, he's a controversial figure of sorts. You know, he's been known for his music. He started this e-waste campaign in Ghana as well. He's achieved quite a lot, and he's only 21.
Wow.
Yes. But I was scrolling on Twitter, and he had posted that he is putting out this documentary called It's Okay. And it's a mental health documentary featuring himself, talking about his struggle with mental health. And he's actually tried to commit suicide 5 different times between the ages of 16 and 20.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes.
So he was mad before?
Well,
Five different times.
5
Mental
different
health.
times, but
Okay.
mental health.
Yeah, he was mad before.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
What I want to say about him is that I felt so passionate about his story that I reached out to him actually to just get a little bit more information. I did.
He responded?
He did respond.
Awesome.
He did respond.
Good
so
stuff.
thank you, Joseph. He essentially said that he went to boarding school and was bullied for the majority of the time there.
Oh.
He was quite different from the other boys. He didn't play soccer. He liked the arts, and he couldn't relate to people like that. He also comes from an affluent background. He's actually connected. His father's very wealthy. So I think that, you know, Ghana, when I was there, it was very clear to me that it's a very, I love my country, don't get me wrong, but Ghana is very groupthink. And they don't allow for difference.
Oh.
So he suffered with that quite a bit. So he started telling me about his first attempt actually and how he tried to hang himself. He went into detail and said that he didn't have a rope, so he used a blanket, wrapped it up, tied it, tried to hang it on the fan, but it failed,
Right.
and the fan came down. There were 4 other attempts after that, of course, and
Wow.
thank God they didn't work because, I mean, he's now triumphed over all of that. He's now able to share his story, but I think that
What was he struggling with? And honestly, because
Bullying,
the bullying,
depression,
depression,
inferiority complex.
yes, I think he talked about insecurity and general inadequacy. And I feel like that's easily, at least for myself, I can relate. I think that it's easy to get caught up in irrational thinking. You know, suddenly your world is not right. You're young and you can't see beyond that specific position that
right.
you're in. And you feel like you need a way out, but the only way out sometimes you might think is just ending it.
Yeah.
You know, but I think this is important because he's overcome this at least 5 different times, and he's letting other people know, especially in Ghana or West Africa or wherever you are in the world, that it is okay. You will be okay, and there's light at the end of it.
So you said he's coming up with a documentary about
yes,
it? Okay.
it's coming out April 18th.
In April 8th, so we are going to be looking forward to that. And I'm
Yes.
so glad that you brought this story in. And the reason why I cut you off is that's what people say when it comes to mental health. It's a serious thing in Africa. It's a serious thing in Ghana, and we don't talk about it enough. Because when people go through some of these things, we try to label them as, oh, they're going mad, or it's spiritual, or it's, you know, all sorts of, we need to mention it. It's mental health.
Yes.
There needs to be some classes with
I
about
understand.
mental
I
health
understand what you're
awareness.
saying. I was
There has
just
to be
trying to be nutty though.
awareness over it because it's a serious matter and people really go through a lot of things and nobody's there to help them. So I'm really glad that Kunta Kinte is bringing this story out and we are also talking about it.
Yes.
So hopefully that maybe somebody's going through the same thing watching us. You know, they can learn from it and this is a serious matter. But go ahead. Yeah.
It's a really serious issue. I'm glad that this is going to come out, and I hope it helps people understand it more. You know, like you said, I think a lot of Africans do have groupthink, you know, and they really don't understand why anybody should be even sad. You know, I've realized that just being sad, Africans are like are confused. Like, why are you sad? You know, like,
Yes,
like
you have
it's-
God.
Even for me, like I tell my mom I'm sad, and she's like, "You have lights, you have everything. Why are you sad?" They just don't get that. You know, there's sometimes that it's not okay.
Yes.
There's sometimes that you aren't feeling all right, and I feel like many things have gone wrong in Africa, in our families, in our communities because of how mental health has not been regarded at all.
Absolutely.
I think part of solving our problems in Africa is also being aware of our mental health.
Yes.
Because, I mean, from the stories coming out of Africa, you will know that many people are mad.
Yes.
You are wrong.
Well, you are using
Yes.
the word mad again, like I used before, but I didn't really mean it that way. I was just trying to be funny, but it's a very serious topic. And I'm really impressed that a guy like this who has gone through this 5 times and even more can be able to like finally come out of that shell and tell his story to the world because it's really going to help a lot of people. I think Africans should invest more in therapists, seeing a therapist, having some therapists, psychologists. My mom was a psychologist, bless her soul. A lot of people don't really know the importance of having a therapist and seeing a therapist because sometimes you need to talk to somebody. And they always want to tag happiness to material things. You have a car, you have this. Why should you be sad? There's so many reasons people can be sad internally. There's so many things you're fighting. So thank you,
for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
And also, let us know in the comments, chime in. We want to hear your thoughts on this topic. And thank you so much for being here with us. And can you please come back?
Please. Of course.
All right.
Yes.
So Bridget is going to come back. And thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments. And until next time, this is MinaTV. You're watching the ABS show.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.